Here from Vasi and Jerry. What an amazing session, panel discussion. But buckle up. We are going to be talking to Andy Crestodina next. We're going to be talking about trust and quality in the new era of content discovery, how to unlock AI secrets, practical SEO tips you can't miss. And so I think we're going to be learning lots from Mr. Andy Crestodina. Andy is the co-founder and CMO at Orbit Media. He is a digital marketing expert with over 2 decades of experience in SEO, analytics, website optimization. He is the author of Content Chemistry. He frequently speaks at top conferences and is deeply committed to community service and environmental causes. Andy, I'm pumped for this session. I love content. I love all the stuff that you're talking about today and how to create more trustworthy and quality content. So, Andy, welcome to our Cloudways Web Growth Summit 2024.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Let me share a screen and just confirm that you guys can all see it. We'll do this one here. Share presentation. How does that look? Do you see a little curve on the screen?
Inflated expectations. We're seeing it.
That's it. Oh, hold on. There's an extra step. I had to click the hide button. Okay. This is a popular topic, AI search. This is a fascinating time. We are in July 2024. What a time to be alive and to do marketing. I have been a digital marketer since 2001. I've used analytics just that long. I've done SEO since prior to the days when Google became the dominant search engine, and have been a content marketer since 2007. AI is obviously as big as social, like mobile internet, like a mega trend. And like all mega trends, we can plot it on the Gartner hype cycle. So first we start with AI inflated expectations, then there's kind of a trough of disillusionment. Some of us may already be there. Then that curve, that slope of enlightenment, and finally, hopefully, we reach the plateau of productivity. That's the AI. That's the Gartner hype cycle for new technology. Every technology follows this curve, but it doesn't really summarize. I don't think it doesn't get to really the feeling of being on this roller coaster. So to put us on this roller coaster, I've got an idea. This was a literal experience I had with my 5-year-old. She's 6 now. I'd like you to meet Ada Crestodina. I said it well. She's on an actual roller coaster here, and I've got my camera in front of her to show her experience on this roller coaster. You're going to see the face of a 5-year-old girl on her first roller coaster, and she's at that peak of inflated expectations right there. She has no idea what's about to happen. This is where a lot of us are in AI, and the headlines show it, right? This is what all of our faces look like when you see stuff like this. AI is going to lead to a 14% average productivity gain. That's massive. That's big news. PricewaterhouseCoopers says that it's going to add $15 trillion to the global economy. That's a good thing, right? That's good news. And then we all start jumping in and we start to do stuff like this. This is going to be amazing. I prompt ChatGPT to create an article for me summarizing the top 10 roller coasters in the US, and it does. Wow. The top 10 roller coasters in the US just did that. It just wrote the whole article for me. What a time saver. I'm far more productive. That was great. In 10 seconds, AI wrote an article for me. But wait a minute. Let's follow Ada next. If I can write an article writing with one sentence in 10 seconds, doesn't that mean that my audience, you got it. You feel that? You with me? You see that face? That's where we are. If I can write an article in 10 seconds, my audience can also get that same information in like 10 seconds. Here I am. I'm going to Perplexity, popular AI tool. It's a little app. Summarizes the internet like AI tools all do. I type in top 10 roller coasters in the US, and it gives me a list of the top 10 roller coasters in the US. I don't need to click on a website. I don't need to go to Google. I don't need to use a browser. The tool just did it for me. That's basically the same thing that ChatGPT gave me. Wow, what is going to happen now? That's a massive disruption. This could change user behavior. This could change the use of browsers. Certainly changes the job of content marketers and the nature, the value of a website and of an article, of a URL. So Gartner actually predicts that there could be a 25% drop in the use of search engines. Just let that sink in for a moment, right? Barry Schwartz put that on X or Twitter, and SEOs agreed. That seems likely. 38% of SEOs said, yep, there might be a 25% global drop in search volume across all, that maybe that's plausible. And then you see headlines like this is the end of the web as we know it. Uh-oh, That flood of low quality content is going to break the web. The algorithms can't keep up. New York Times, Ezra Klein says, will AI break the internet? Creators will have no incentive to keep publishing, right? And that's what I mean. That's Ada's face. Here we go. We're at the trough of disillusionment. But then there's actually, if you watch her face and if you look at our industry in that moment, look, she actually is starting to feel safe. Like she's internalizing this. She's thinking about it, right? This is where we are. A lot of us are right here. So I want to step back and I'm going to take the big view and look at this and give you also practical ways. I like to teach. I'm not really a keynote guy. I like to like transmit skills and show methods, and I'm going to give you plenty of those. But I'm going to start with the big picture first by explaining, if you've been worried about Google AI overview killing click-through rates, guess what? Google has been killing click-through rates forever. Yes, of course, you start searching for something, top 10 roller coasters in the US, and you're going to see like this. It's like a super powered featured snippet that lists everything for you by summarizing the web and where are the links. What's going to happen, right? This is death to website traffic. But it's always been like this. I have this weird habit, this hobby of collecting screenshots of Google search results pages. I have for 10 years been collecting screenshots of Google search results pages. It's a weird idea, but it's interesting because you can look back and see the pre-post on what happened to the web, right? How SERPs have changed. This was a SERP from 2016 for the phrase modern wedding dresses. And the number one position was like 240 pixels from the top of the viewport. Plenty of, 4 of organic list snippets above the fold. It's 7 images or 7 ads and 12 images. Try that again today. Wow. That search results page is like a bridal magazine. It's filled with ads and shopping listings and pictures. And, there's only 8 organic listings and there's 77 pictures. So anyone that's been tracking this, I've been tracking my rankings for forever. You can see the rankings don't change that fast, right? I don't know. SEOs are very, very concerned with rankings. Maybe we should be more concerned with click-through rates because that's changing more dramatically. You can rank number 1 every day for 10 years, but your click-through rates are dropping by 50% or more, and traffic is down by 40%. That's the story. You maybe rarely see someone map it together where you can see with the dates lined up, your rankings, your click-through rates, right? That's Moz, Search Console, and GA4 in one screenshot. That's the reality, right? And this goes back years. You can see it actually in one report, just in Search Console by turning on average position and click-through rates and looking at the traffic drop, even though the rankings kind of stay the same, right? Steady rankings, falling traffic. So this isn't new. This isn't weird. We all have to be adapting all the time. This is something we all should have been expecting. I can't show you this in GA4 because it doesn't have enough historic data. But if I go to Universal Analytics and plot 15 years of organic traffic, you can see the rise and fall. But look closer. It was called segments. Now it's called comparisons. Separate out traffic for information intent visitors. They land on blog posts. From traffic for commercial intent visitors. They land on service pages. The service page traffic is actually far less impacted, right? Most of the rise and fall of this organic click-through rate stuff is to articles, people that just want information, they just want answers. They were never going to become a lead anyway. That's the reality of search. You do it yourself in GA4 and check the conversion rates. Again, GA4 calls them comparisons. People who start their landing page included, the word blog, they started on an article. The landing page did not include the word blog. They started on the service page. 10x, sometimes 20x. I have access to hundreds of analytics accounts and I'm looking at them all the time and I see this all the time. So not only is the most valuable traffic far less impacted, but I think that AI can help you improve your click-through rates. Does that sound weird? I'm going to do some strange things. You're going to see me use ChatGPT in ways probably not typical. I'm going to use it. I'm going to export data to find ideas for having more compelling, higher click-through rate title tags. Yes, ChatGPT can help me with this. But I'm going to do it. I don't write lazy prompts. I don't do single prompts. I don't expect value from typing one sentence. My best adventures into ChatGPT are from uploading data or giving it detailed information about my audience. Here's what the report looks like in Google Search Console if you want to export data showing the click-through rates of your articles. So I've filtered out my brand name. I'm including only blog posts. I'm doing this for content marketing here at first. And I click the export button. And it gives me a spreadsheet, right? Like a CSV file. A bunch of this is noise. I'm going to delete all the things that have no clicks. It's piles of these, right? But this doesn't have my title tags. I'm looking for higher click-through rate title tags. So I need to get another report out of GA4. These are my title tags. Just go to the pages and screens report and change that first drop down. It's called the primary dimension to page title. And these are all your title tags of all your articles, right? Now I had a secondary dimension, click the blue plus, to see all their URLs because I need the URLs so that ChatGPT can map together data from one report and data from another report. Okay, so I'm going to delete anytime you export data from analytics. Did you see where it was, that little share button? Anytime you export data from Google Analytics, you have to delete the first 9 rows. It just confuses the AI. It can do it for you, but it's cleaner, I think, to delete those first 9 rows. I do this all the time. Delete the first 9 rows, don't forget. And then upload this data to ChatGPT, okay? For this, you need the paid account, the $20 per month account. I think it's worth it. I think there's incredible value from that $20. I think Claude, though, Anthropic's AI model will let you upload files without that. Whatever you need to do, use whatever model you want. I'm not advocating for ChatGPT, but upload the data. And I ask it first, the Google Search Console data, can you analyze? It can. Cool. I upload the GA4 data. Can you analyze? It can. By the way, remove all the non-English language ones. I'm going with first language only. Use whichever language you like. We're a global community here. Merge the data with the other data set. Okay, it puts the data together. Provide link to download. You have to tell it to provide link to download because you never know, it might have messed up. I don't really trust AI. In fact, I explicitly do not trust AI. I check it. I have to check it every time. So when I click to download the link, I can then look at the data. And this is exactly what I wanted. This is all you need to have ChatGPT or any AI model recommend higher click-through rate title tags because it's got the title tags and it's got the URLs and it's got the search position and it's got the click-through rates, right? A data analyst could do this. It would take them a day and a half, but ChatGPT can do it for us in minutes. So now that looks good. I'm going to upload that. Here's my prompt. You're an SEO expert. You're skilled in analyzing search performance and you're skilled in the psychology of click-through rates. Which of these pages has lower than expected click-through rates based on its search position? Does that make sense? I'm looking for the pages and title tags that have lower than expected click-through rates based upon their search positions, right? This is based on it's all benchmarked against my own data. So then it comes back and it tells you which of these has lower than expected click-through rates. And then it's going to start recommending better click-through rates immediately. These are better. Definitely they're better. Look at the ones I wrote compared to its suggestions. 14 unique ways to say thank you to your audience. It's got a better idea. 14 unique ways to say thank you and build your network. Look, it added a benefit statement. How about this one? There are 2 types of marketers, the turtle and the hare. See what its suggestion is. Tortoise versus hare. Which type of digital marketer are you? ? That's definitely better. That's definitely better. It identified which ones were the best opportunities and without even a subsequent prompt, it just went ahead and suggested better title tags. Let's all go ahead and run this and batch upload brand new title tags to all of our articles that have lower than expected title tags, lower than expected click-through rates based on their search position. Fun, right? Moving on, I've got another concern. Hopefully that was helpful, right? It's like I'm going up that, I'm trying to get to the productivity plateau. This is the roller coaster that we're all on with my daughter. Number 2, another concern. AI generated content will be penalized. I think that's a weird concern. I don't really have that concern. There is no policy at Google, but I'd rather have us worry less about detectability because, after all, AI content is not detectable. There's scholarly articles about this. Some of the top names, some of the big thought leaders like Ethan Malik will tell us low obvious AI writing is obvious only because it was low effort. Prompting multiple times removes detectability. All of the detectors have high false positive rates. None of them work well with the latest models. So I'd say forget about detectability for a minute. You're looking at this wrong. Instead, obsess over quality. That's what Google wants. That's what your visitors want. That's what the game is. That's how you stay top of mind. That's how you sleep well at night. that's how you outperform your competition. That's how you remain like a brand that has exceeded the audience's expectations about the utility you can provide. So in my experience, this slide summarizes my experience. If I had one slide, this is it. It's the 10x efforts that yield the 100x results. Performance is always on an exponential scale, right? I will do anything possible to move even a little bit farther over on this curve. Time is linear. Hey, I can double down. I spend an average of 10 to 14 hours on every article I write. Does that sound high? Not really. I do that for the sake of efficiency, right? Because I want to create more of these super high performers because they get 100x results. I spend 12 hours on an article because I don't have time, right? So let's focus on quality, because it's the high quality things in any channel, or it's the high quality channels for any brand that get the 100x results, right? This is the job. Larry Kim said years ago, everything we do is either a unicorn or a donkey. The job of analytics is help us find the unicorn so we can go make baby unicorns. I just like saying baby unicorns. So do anything you can to get better results there. I'm going to give you an example based on a random business, random category. For the next few minutes, we're going to be a space launch services company. We are going to target commercial satellite operators. And rather than the lazy prompting, I hate this. Please, let's not do this anymore. Write me an article about satellite launch best practices. Yeah, if you could write that article, if ChatGPT could write a good article like this, that's exactly what you shouldn't write, because your audience can just prompt to get that same response out of ChatGPT. So it's also tastes like water. It's boring. It's undifferentiated. I joke, AI might as well stand for average information, because that's what it is. It read 85% of the internet and it summarizes it. That's average information. That's what you get if you're a lazy prompter. Not recommended. That is not how to do the job. So instead, what I'm going to recommend is that we first teach it about our audience and then do some brainstorming together. This is my persona prompt. Please feel free to steal it, share it with friends, try it, improve it, iterate it for yourself. It works like this. If I first teach the AI about who I'm targeting, all subsequent responses will be more on point. Build me a persona of a commercial satellite operator. That's a job title. Of a global telecom. That's the industry, maybe company size. They're responsible for planning launch missions. That's the responsibilities, the challenges. They need help deploying satellites. They're looking for new launch services providers. I want 4 things back: their hopes and dreams, their fears and concerns, their emotional triggers, and their decision criteria for selecting a company like mine. If you don't know the decision criteria for selecting a company like yours, you're really not very well prepared to even make a web page, right? Your job as a digital marketer is to know a lot about why your audience makes choices, what's important to them, what they care about, what they're worried about, what they're hoping for, what triggered them, what the true story is. There's a true story in the life of every visitor to every web page. Articles, sales pages, all pages. You have to know that, right? That's why we need to train the AI. Now we're going to make something good. So we tell it, so now we want it to know how they buy. It makes us a persona. It's probably pretty good. It might be partly wrong. It's probably named Alex or Jamie. I don't know why. I've done this 100 times. But don't trust the AI. Here, another joke. AI might as well stand for assume incorrect. Always assume it's incorrect. Look for chances to improve it. Don't trust the AI. Trust yourself. So with minutes of research, I realized, hey, the AI cares about insurance and risk management. Why wasn't that in the persona? Add that to the persona. Add the following decision criteria for selecting a launch services company. I tell it to improve my persona, polish it up. Did it work? I'll spend 10 minutes on this, right? Or longer. I'm going to work at this. I'm going to read, or maybe I've got our battle tested, sales proven ICPs, ideal client profiles. Just upload those. If you're not scared, go ahead. Either way, now it's going to know your audience, and now you're ready to do some brainstorming, which according to my annual blogger survey is the #1 use case for AI. Marketers' #1 use case for AI is generating ideas. Cool. Nothing wrong with that at all. But before I just ask it for articles, I want to talk to it. It's called ChatGPT because you have a conversation. I'm going to have a conversation with it about my audience's information needs. Your job is to know your audience's information needs. What information does the commercial satellite operator persona need to do their job well, right? What does Alex want to know? How can I be a content strategist without knowing that? Scan down. See any good ones? See any ones that align well with your message, with your value proposition, with your past content, with your passion, story, origin, your influencer relationships, your other high performing pieces? Yes. Strategies for backup and recovery in case of failed launches. When my audience reads that, they're going to know that I understand the risks, right? I'm publishing strategies for recovery in the case of a failed launch. They're going to say, "Wow, this guy knows." These people are think like me, right? They're concerned. Next, I'm going to finally, now I'm going to ask it for ideas. Suggest 10 articles on the following topic. Make them, capture the interest of the persona, provide practical utility, make them compelling and memorable. Those are my words. Choose your own words. Make this prompt whatever you like, whatever aligns with your content strategy. Make them entertaining and fun. Make them engaging and provocative, whatever your favorite words are. And then I copy and paste in that topic that I liked. What does it come back with? Gold. That's good. Now it's much, much better than lazy prompt. Bridging communication gaps, ensuring seamless team coordination during launches. I don't think I could have gotten that output without this input, right? Garbage in, garbage out. I give it as much as I can, but I might not like that either. I'm scanning down a bunch of them before choosing one. And here, my final little joke. I joke that AI might as well stand for another input because you are the strategist. You decide if it's good for you or not. We don't just take everything it gives us and assume it's all good. You got to think about this stuff, right? Keep using your brain, keep adding value. We're not going to abdicate our job to a robot. That was the peak of inflated expectations, right? You're going to crash if you try that. So what did I do? Started with persona. I gave it I talked about information needs, and then finally started talking about topics. Okay. So are you still worried about an AI penalty? You should not be. If Google were on this call, I would show the exact same thing. What am I doing? Data-driven empathy, because that's my job. I'm trying to help somebody in this world, right? I'm trying to be a useful resource in the life of this commercial satellite operator, right? I hope Google themselves is doing this. If anyone knows a Googler, go ahead and share this. I'd love their input. It might help them do a better job. Okay, one more idea. This one's a little less likely to be loved by Google, but it's actually quite clever, and I think it's actually still perfectly ethical. I'm going to take GA4 and Google Search Console data, and I'm going to get it to make SEO recommendations. This is probably what most people would like to hear as advice for AI-powered SEO. Again, I'm going to Google Search Console, and I'm going to export all the data for keyword performance, but this time it's for one URL. I wrote an article about how to make social media videos. This long, I could pick anything, but I'd pick this one. And so I've made a filter to only show that one URL. I'm going to export that. Now, this entire model is based on the fact that all URLs rank for phrases that don't even appear on the page. So all URLs have the opportunity to rank higher for those specific phrases by simply incorporating them in the content, right? If you've got a page that ranks for a phrase that isn't even on the page, put that phrase in the copy somewhere and it should perform a bit better, right? So I export this file, I upload this file, I tell it I'm giving you Google Search Console data showing the search performance. Can you analyze? Of course it can. And then you might need to clean it up a little bit. Merge the rows with very similar queries into a single row with a representative marketing key phrase. As you do so, merge the data, combine the impressions and clicks and average the click-through rates and average positions. Provide a link to download because I don't trust you, AI. I got to double check your work. Provide a link to download. I look at it, check it. How does it look? Looks great, right? These are all the phrases for which that URL ranks. These are all the clicks, impressions, click-through rate, and position. So not all these even appear on the page. So here's the next step. Here's the web page for the data you just analyzed. Evaluate this content's keyword usage and frequency based on the phrases in the data set. Copy and paste in the article, right? So it comes back to evaluate it. I got to do some text pre-processing. Sure, go right ahead. Some key phrase extraction, whatever it takes, buddy. You got this. And then it's going to start making recommendations. Read these. This is some good work. If AI were my intern, I'd be like patting you on the back. Good job. The prompt that leads to it says, focus on recommendations for including key phrases that are not on the page but are in the data set. And while you're at it, improve the flow and quality of the content, right? I wanted to suggest edits that would help it rank higher by indicating relevance, especially for those phrases that are in the data but not on the page. And make the writing good, okay? I don't want to do any keyword stuffing here. So it comes back, read this. Social media streams are crowded, fast flowing, and competitive. I wrote that sentence, perfectly fine sentence, nothing wrong with it. But read the revision. Navigating the crowded and competitive social media video landscape can be daunting. That's just as good, and it's more keyword focused. What do you think? Not bad, huh? Let's try this one. It wins for the algorithms and wins for attention. What is a suggested revision? What is AI? It's a brilliant language, right? It's going to be good. This is why learning how to create captivating social media video content is crucial. Look, it noticed that the key phrase was in the data set exported from Google Search Console, but not in the copy. I think that's a bulletproof on-page SEO recommendation engine. You turn ChatGPT into SEO software, but you first had to give it the data, right? No lazy prompting. And by the way, if you're in the same conversation where you first taught it the persona, then it's even more likely to be on point. Just sharing, just a point of view. Take it or leave it. Right? It's like a salad bar. Just pick the tips you like, leave the rest. But I'm just showing you things that I found to be interesting and useful, and maybe they're interesting and useful to you. Right? This is early days still, but I thought that was fun. Okay, next, big concern. Search itself is threatened. Gartner's prediction, 25% drop in global search volume. Uh-oh. Watch this. I'm going to capture my screen while I go to Google, right? I'm using basically with browser plus search engine plus website to get a recipe, guacamole. It's a sauce for chips, right? Okay. Wow, a whole bunch of guacamole recipes here. They all kind of look the same. I don't know. How about this one? Okay, there's a lot of share buttons on here and a favorite heart at the bottom, and we got some ads loading at the bottom. Oh, video on top and some more share buttons. And where's the guacamole recipe? Scroll back up. Pop-up window, capture text. Wait, what? All I wanted was a recipe. Instead, I got a video ad, a sticky banner, a favorite this button, share buttons, a pop-up window, capture text. This is not good. This is a nightmare. Let's all admit in this moment, July 2024, that the mobile internet experience is bad, very bad. The internet's a mess. This is not a happy experience. I did this again on a desktop and then looked to see what I had downloaded. 17 CSS files, 72 JavaScript files. Browser plus search engine plus website. I downloaded 48 tracking tags. They're going to be retargeted for weeks. 43 images. All I wanted was a recipe. Instead, I got 2 megabytes of data transferred. Try it again using ChatGPT's app. Open the app, type in the recipe. How do you make guacamole? Next thing that happens, you get a guacamole recipe, and that's it. It just gave you exactly what you wanted. Probably every day, thousands of people are realizing there's a better way to use the internet. If you didn't know this, if you hadn't tried this, that's all you wanted. That's all you got. 128 words. So maybe we're at an era now when the guacamole recipe is just basic human knowledge, and nobody, Google or that website, should be able to monetize that visitor. I'm fine with that because this is not good. This is 2 megabytes versus, compare. 12 ads and offers, 6 modal windows, 14 tracking tags, 2 megabytes of data, 2,000 words. Really, all I wanted was a guac recipe, people. So I don't know. These are tough times for the web, right? This is why we should be having this experience. So what does that mean for content discovery? What does that mean for the content marketer? Right? What does that mean for the use of browsers and Google itself? I don't know, but I'm not going to overreact here, guys. I'm not going to panic because guess what? AI can be a source of traffic. Go ahead and create an exploration in GA4. And I'll show you. Here's the segment I made. This won't even capture all of them because it doesn't get app traffic, but this is just from websites and browsers. This is a regex that shows me traffic from AI to my website. Look, wow, I'm getting traffic from AI, right? No search engine involved. So it's not unlikely at all that content discovery will change, but that doesn't mean that the value of creating awesome content, publishing original research, helpful, useful, timely stuff, detailed pieces. So let's answer this question. This is the most important marketing question of the year 2025, probably. We can start this. We can work on it now. How do you get AI to mention your brand and your content? How to get yourself into the training data? How do you teach ChatGPT 5 that you are a good resource on these topics, or your company is a good partner for these services? I don't know. It's not SEO. What do you want to call it? AIO? I'm making it up. I'll leave it to you. You guys discuss amongst yourselves and decide what this new category will be called. But what you want to have happen is someone says, well, what's the best web design agency in Chicago? Orbit Media Studios. That's my company. I took the screenshot on a good day. I'm really kind of like, that's not a consistent outcome, but you get the idea. That's my point is, how do you get that to happen? Step back and first consider, what was the training data for ChatGPT? ChatGPT 4, we don't know. But ChatGPT 3 is published. We know the training data. It was trained on the Common Crawl, whatever, like 85% of the public internet, 250 billion pages. So we want to be in the Common Crawl, of course, right? In many places in the Common Crawl. Web text 2, it was trained on these web pages that were linked to from Reddit posts with 2 or more upvotes. That sounds weird. I think it's actually kind of clever. Books 1 and 2, this is just like a bunch of subtitles, and they had to teach the AI grammar and language and vocabulary. And so it just needed lots of data, vernacular, spoken data, words, language. And then, of course, Wikipedia, which was heavily weighted, right? That was given a greater weight in the training mix. Okay, we know. So the idea then would be to appear in the training data with your name, brand, value prop, differentiation in many places. Just as an example, these are the knowledge sources from which ChatGPT was trained, GPT-3. And these were the news sources from which ChatGPT-3 was trained. So not weird. The idea is that you want to have appear in many places. Here's my quick suggestions, and this is mostly speculation, but it's time for us to ask, how do you get the models to know you and that you are legit and relevant on these topics? Deep content and original research, right? Those are what the citations are in Perplexity and the AI overview. YouTube videos, they appear in tons of AI overviews, right? And they've got transcripts, they can be crawled and read, right? So the strategy for that's called content marketing. Weird, same strategy, dude, for a different channel. Yeah, maybe. How about list posts? Appear in list posts, press releases. They appear everywhere. They're definitely crawled and ingested by the AI. Podcasts, but only if they have transcripts. We don't care if they're popular podcasts or if you're on a list post with, on a high authority website. That's not really the point. It's just to appear in many places. The authority isn't is relevant here, right? The AI doesn't care if there's been a million links to that or one link to that, right? A podcast that has, a detailed transcript with your elevator pitch and a description of your business on a very unpopular new podcast, that might be better than a famous podcast without any transcription. Of course, I'm only talking about training the AI and getting mentioned by an AI model. I'm not talking about brand visibility, influencer relationships, and all the other good things. There's more to life than search and more to life than AI. Rule number 1 is to connect with your audience. Okay, this is an AI SEO presentation, but I would definitely prefer to be on a podcast with my target audience as listeners. Finally, directories, review websites, local SEO, internet yellow pages, aggregators, forums, discussion boards, all the things. Be in all the places. In other words, the biggest digital footprint will win. That's how you're going to train the AI. Okay, watching the time. We're going to move on. The internet's going to collapse. This is my 4th and final concern. And that moment of despair, right? The disillusionment, we're going to come back up. Oh no, the end of the web and search and the computer as we know it. Yeah, you read this article back in 2013. They've been predicting the end of the internet for a very long time. That literally is an article from 2013. It's the end of the web as we know it. The algorithms are going to be overwhelmed. What are they going to do? Social media and search won't be able to handle it. Yeah, that is algorithm marketing, right? What about all the other types of marketing? Your audience still needs help, right? And there's more to life than search. Think about this for a minute. We need to diversify here, people. SEO and social media marketing, there's an algorithm in between you and your audience. Big tech sits right between you and your target audience. But relationship marketing, email, referral partners, word of mouth marketing, influencer marketing, that poll question we had just in the last session, like, well, how many channels do you use? If the answer is 2 and they're both algorithms, you might want to reconsider. Events, offline marketing, community building, webinars. These are direct, right? This is disintermediation. This is how you connect without big tech in between. So why don't we diversify? Let's broaden our skills. If AI can make us more efficient, maybe we can add a new skill set. Think about this. This is called the T-shaped marketer. These are all the marketing, not all, but just an example of a bunch of marketing channels and skills and strategies. The best marketers in digital have wide breadth of knowledge across many areas of marketing. But then they go deep. They are T-shaped. They go deep into a certain channel. If you SEO, that'd be things like keyword research and tech SEO and performance tracking and EAT, UX and site architecture. They have deep knowledge. So allow me to suggest to you, if you're an SEO and considering expanding your skill set, to focus maybe on conversion. My concern about the SEO community is that it's all cheese and no mousetrap. If you could get better conversion rates, you'll have better conversion rates from any traffic source, not just search. This will work for everybody. This is 100% relevant to all brands, right? Startups, Fortune 1000s, big companies, small companies, B2C, B2B, high consideration, low consideration, right? Anybody. So yeah, I'm an SEO and I have been forever. I'm also a conversion optimization. My hope is to be a dual threat marketer and focus on improving that number. Remember this from the first slide, that number, the session conversion rate from that, for that high stakes visitor on the key service page. And here again, maybe AI can help us with conversion optimization. Example, web page, service page, targeting commercial satellite operators. Bad page, weak page, thin content, 250 words, no supportive evidence, ranks low, the video is weird. So I'm going to give this web page to AI and upload the full page screenshot. That's my favorite way to have AI analyze a URL. Give it a full page screenshot. I just wrote about this on LinkedIn. That way it can evaluate the visual hierarchy and it can see awards and trust seals and badges and certifications. So I upload that to AI with this somewhat detailed prompt. A lot of my prompts look like this. This is not weird for me. It's the detailed prompt kind of says, here's a page, you're a conversion optimization expert. You're good at evaluating pages against their ability to both inform and persuade. Cool. That's our job, inform and persuade. And you know that the best pages have headers that clearly indicate the topic, and that the copy answers visitors' questions, and that the order of the messages aligns with their priorities, and that the page uses lots of supportive evidence like testimonials and statistics. All this stuff, right? This is just take a screenshot or download the deck. These are just my best practices for web pages, conversion focused. This is a conversion optimization audit prompt, and it comes back and evaluates the page. Oops, the page does not address concerns such as reliability. ChatGPT just found a gap, right? Keep going. Oh, the page does not prioritize their information needs like cost effectiveness and tech capabilities. Oops, gap. Oops, the page does not add any testimonials, partner logos, case studies, statistical evidence, or any support for the claims. Oops, there's a gap. The page, the subheads are very vague. It says our technology. It probably should say proven launch technology based on decades of success. That would be far more credible. What did I just do? I did that all in the persona prompt, but I did not, and I do not use AI to be more efficient. I don't care about efficiency. That's not the point of marketing. The point of marketing is to make something that's 10x better than your competitors and your visitors' expectations. That's how to win. That's how to stay top of mind. Only a few brands in every category can be top of mind. This is how to do it, to exceed their expectations, to blow it out of the water on quality. The visitor lands like, what? This page is reading my mind. I'm not looking for efficiencies. I use AI to find deficiencies and then go make it a better page. AI-powered gap analysis, persona-based gap analysis, very powerful, very useful. So I'm going to suggest one last thing here as we climb up the curve. I got to watch my time. As we climb up the curve and get to that point of productivity, this is my daughter at the end of the ride. Look, we made it. You did it, Ada. Good job. That's it. What? Wait, that's it. I got this. I can do this. I'm going to leave you with one final tip, which is should be comforting to humans those of us on this at the Web Growth Summit that are human. It starts with this quote from Jay Baer. He says, "The problem is not that AI is doing what marketers can do. The problem is that marketers keep doing what can be done by an AI." Just let that sink in. If an AI can do it, you should stop doing it and let the AI do it, and instead do something that can't be done by an AI. Is that strange? Does that sound weird? Is that realistic? Absolutely. I will say, I will. This most of the things that you say in day-to-day conversation, AI could never write. That's just absolutely true, right? I'll give you an example. Here's an article that I wrote: GA4 versus Universal Analytics. Right? This is the other disruption from last year. We all had to learn GA4. Side-by-side comparison plus input from 10 angry marketers. That timing is perfect based on my knowledge of my audience, because I published this right before the GA4 cutout date in July. Okay, so that, first of all, I know them better than the AI. I know my audience. I talk to my audience every day. The AI does not. So I knew that the timing was just right. Then scroll down, we get to this sentence: GA4 is better than Universal Analytics. That's my point of view. I believe that. I actually believe that's true. I know I'm in the minority, but my point is that's a sentence AI could never write, because it has no point of view. AI has no opinions. It has no perspective. It has no life experience. It can't write a sentence like that, right? Coffee, if you put milk in your coffee, you wrecked your coffee. That's bad coffee. Coffee is supposed to be dark and smoky. That's a trivial example, but it's another sentence AI could never write. You have to try very hard to prompt it to have just to state an opinion. And in the end, it doesn't care about anything. It doesn't actually understand what it's saying. It doesn't have any feelings about anything at all. So there's a million things that we say every day that AI could never say. So my point is, thought leadership content cannot be done by AI, only done by humans. That personal video with me making my case in front of a camera, AI can't do that. It has no face. That visual metaphor comparing GA4 to Universal, it can't do that. This is my own creative input. And AI can't do this. I reached out to my angriest friends, Mike King and Justin Rondeau and Court and Alex and Zanti and Amy, because AI has no friends. It cannot do good influencer marketing. I built relationships over years that it did not. So do what the machines cannot do. You are still a valued human. This is not going to come close to hurting your job if you just move to things that where the AI made you more efficient, made you more, improve quality or maybe efficiency over here. And now you're focused on these things like thought leadership, like taking a stand, like drawing a line in the sand and getting down to the beliefs and values of your brand. AI has no opinions. AI has no friends, and AI has no face. ChatGPT can't throw a punch. But one last tip. I'm going to add one more. One last tip. It can help you find provocative topics that your audience might love. Listen to these prompts. These are very special prompts. What are some relatively mundane, almost trivial space industry topics that professionals have very strong opinions about? I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm trying to trigger a conversation. And it comes back, units of measure, metric versus imperial. Oh, everyone's got a point of view on that. Naming conventions, naming spacecraft and celestial bodies. That they're definitely going to have an opinion about that. Rocket design philosophies. These are all things that my target audience, my commercial satellite operator, might care a lot about, right? And AI helped me find those. Maybe 80% of them are boring or garbage or obvious. Fine, skip those. But a few of these might be really interesting for you to come out and have a point of view, which AI has no point of view. You say, it's ridiculous that the United States is not converted to metric. It's embarrassing for Americans. I'm embarrassed. AI can't write that sentence, right? It has no point of view. Try these prompts. What questions are people in my industry afraid to answer? What false things do my industry think are true? What are the most common assertions do people in my industry make, but are least likely to be supported by evidence? Go publish that original research now, right? There's your missing statistic. What are the most important topics that are the least likely to be covered by the popular blogs, right? Do gap analysis on my whole category and my entire industry. This is everything my industry has ever published. There's a hole. AI finds the hole. You plug the hole. Or better yet, what counter narrative opinions are the least likely to be discussed by thought leaders? Counter narratives, these are powerful words to add into prompts. What are the counter narratives? Okay, we made it. We did it. We're there. We're at the top. Look, she's ready to go again. Look at her happy. There's my wife. She's happy. My son in the front seat. That's it, guys. You got it. We can do it. It's all going to be fine. Channels will change. Quality will not. The brand that best understands their audience, solves for their information needs, builds trust, answers questions, and grows awareness and top of mind is the brand that will win. That will be forever true. Okay, Brent, I'm going to tab out. We left just enough time for a question or two. I promised to leave 10 minutes. I think we're mostly there. I could
think
definitely keep going, but we'll pause.
Yeah, perfect timing, Andy. Dude, I'm blown away. I just want to say, like, before we get into questions, like, thank you for this talk. I know for myself, I'm gonna ask my whole team to watch this talk. I want to just have our audience. I'm seeing lots of props already, but let's give Andy a little virtual round of applause for an amazing keynote that is packed with so much great content. I've heard that phrase. Don't be scared that AI is going to take your job. Be scared that somebody that's using AI is going to take your job.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself right now, I'm like, damn, Andy's going to take my job, right? He's going to take all of our jobs, because this was a phenomenal talk on marketing and on AI. Let's jump to, and just seeing Leanne said this is the best SEO talk I've seen in a very long time. Just phenomenal, absolutely brilliant. I feel like I should have paid for this. Phenomenal presentation, gold. This was so good. Thank you. Best of the day. Lots of applause here. So if you all have a question for Andy, let's get that in the Q&A panel. We've got a few questions in there already. I'm going to put this one up there first about there are new threats out there like deep fakes, etc. If LLS gets information from fake sources, how reliable will it be, right? So at what point does the AI start consuming the AI's false information? Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah. I separate all conversations I have about AI into two groups. There's the between 9 and 5, and I want to be do my job and do it better than I did yesterday. The political implications, accuracy, bias, labor market impact. I kind of touched on some of those, but these are things that I don't have a practical perspective on, but I have lots of concerns about. I think that there are big problems, and I mean, what that question's about AI safety, and the engineers need to work very hard on that. People are just really, really bad at checking sources. So, I mean, my hope is that as marketers, we can be the source and be the source of truth and be a better answer. And therefore, when someone's skeptical about something or looking up a statistic or getting an idea or looking for a framework or a checklist or best practices, they tap and go to read us. But when they don't do that, they're accepting something without validation. I'm scared because we should not trust AI. And when that thing they're accepting has political implications, in that example, right? Or it's plagiarized, or it's inaccurate, or it's a bad actor trying to manipulate us. There will be bad implications from this. But if it helps put it in perspective, social media has bad implications, and we move on. We keep going. We teach our kids. Teach your kids, I guess, is my best answer to that. Is like, let's all be diligent about checking sources, and let's teach our children to check sources. Ada will get this lesson when she's ready.
This is a question actually from chat, and I have the same question, right? How can we get some of your prompts? Do you have some resource blog posts or whatever on how to become a better prompter, or how to leverage like data in your prompts like you've done so eloquently in your talk?
Yeah, I've published them all. Well, I mean, as I get to them, I publish them all. I'm going to put it in the chat. This is every article I've written about AI. There's every one of those articles has all the prompts. There's probably 20 that we didn't touch on today. But yeah, I write these things so you can copy and paste them out of there. I don't see any value in trying to hold back. I think that some of these have such high value. You feel like you just wrote software when you it takes hours, but you iterate a prompt that really works well. And I have had moments where I'm like, oh, this one's really effective. Should I share it all? That's anti-marketing sentiment. You should all share all your best. we're past the era of secrets, as Mark Schaefer would say. So my philosophy is just to try to be the most helpful human on the internet. So all the prompts are in all those posts.
Very cool. I love that. I'm not 100% sure what the last part of this question is. I'm going to take a guess at it. But when I search Google, Gemini comes up on top. Maybe why would Google do that? I think is maybe the last part of this question. It just says, why would Google? I'm assuming why would Google put Gemini ahead of their search query? Any thoughts on their strategy there?
Oh, right. I wondered that too at first. I was like, whoa, where are the ads? What's going to happen here? I think that they have acknowledged that accessing that AI summarization of the internet and of corners of the web is a better user experience than browser plus search engine plus noisy mess of web pages. So they are just trying to stay relevant, I think, in this era. There is actually some risk of them losing market share for the first time since I've been using Google. Right, this is like a brand new thing. It's hard for me to say though what the strategy is. In the end, I think Google has a very strong play to become a dominant AI platform because information is how AIs get trained, and they have vast amounts of information. They have all the computing power. They have all the pieces in place. The problem is that it's a bit in contrast with their business model because part of the reason why AI and Perplexity and ChatGPT are such great sources of information is because it's sort of clean and fast and private. If you care about that, it's amazing. The web browser, the mobile browser, and mobile and the experience on websites after you click is not great, right? It's a mess. So they're going to figure it out. I don't know if in the end they're just a slightly less valuable company, but I wonder too. It's hard to know.
I feel like with Google though, you've got the whole Google Workspaces. You've got
Yeah.
everybody's email. They've got business documents. Like, I'm very interested. I mean, they probably have one of the largest, collections of data on planet Earth, and so I'm sure they will figure it out.
Yeah, Maps, YouTube. They're so well positioned. They're so dominant. Try to not use Google for, for half a day. They're the most popular operating system in the world. They're the most popular browser in the world. They're the most popular search tool, the most popular analytics tool, the most popular map tool, the most popular video hosting streaming platform. They're leaders in productivity software. Their search is their revenue center, but I think that there's a lot of strategies they could play.
Awesome. Andy, one quick last question for you here today. How has been your experience participating in this year's Web Growth Summit at Cloudways?
Maybe unique, but I've been a fan of Cloudways for a long time. 10 years ago, I met a marketer who was there, and I didn't know anything about the brand, and have gradually come to just have huge respect. Very cool the way that this program has worked out. Clearly, there's tons of interaction. I would just say, let's all connect with each other. Let's all keep in touch and keep sharing. It's kind of sad when conferences end, but hopefully this can be a new beginning. But no, I'm honored. I would never miss the chance to be part of anything Cloudways does, and it was a small thrill to be invited to be part of the Web Growth Summit. So thank you, Brent.
Awesome. Well, Andy, based on our user reactions to your keynote today, I'm sure we're going to be tapping you to come back to our future web events like our Prepathon or our podcast or other channels like that. So amazing talk today. I think we have your blog pinned in the comments. So for our audience out there today, if you haven't yet checked out Andy's blog over at orbitmedia.com, go check that out. Obviously, a massive amount of information. I love so many of the takeaways today of just focusing on quality and not necessarily efficiency. I think that almost goes counter to like the poll that we heard earlier, where 45% of people said that time was their biggest constraint in trying to be efficient or fast or manage so many platforms. The thing I heard from Andy today was like, slow down, spend more time, be more thorough, bring your own unique assets to the audiences that you serve out there, bring your own unique voice, have an opinion, have a position. And I think those lessons and so much more in this episode are going to be great for our audience out there today. So thank you, Andy. Again, our audience, I'm sure will follow up with you and check out your stuff. So thank you again for being here.
Thanks, Cloudways. Thanks, Brent. Have a beautiful day, everyone.
And this is going to wrap up day one of our Web Growth Summit. If you haven't yet completed the survey for your participation in the Web Growth Summit, we'd love for you to do that. So I think our team can link out to that to make sure that you all fill out our survey and give us the feedback that we need and can help us improve our sessions here at Cloudways and the Web Growth Summit. Tomorrow is day 2 of the Web Growth Summit. We have another packed day of amazing content, speakers, discussions, activities. So definitely come back tomorrow for more great stuff. We're going to be focused on how to maximize traffic. We have some sessions on website reliability, website UI, UX, and a live website performance review, which I always love seeing those of how our websites actually perform. Obviously, website speed is a huge topic still and has a huge impact on conversion, on visitor retention, and all that kind of stuff. So come back to us for day 2. Make sure you complete our survey for the Web Growth Summit, and we are looking forward to kicking off tomorrow, Web Growth Summit 2024. So thanks again for being here. Awesome hanging out with you all in chat today. Amazing sessions, amazing speakers. And that is our program for day 1. Until next time, I'm Brent Weaver.